All right, guys, I said I was going to go deep in today's video, and I mean it. All right, so this is going to be an entire framework. I'm going to look through all of the sectors, most of the sectors. I'm going to show you where the leadership is, where it is not, the caution signals I see, and of course, the strength and rotation I'm seeing as well. All right, it's not all bad. It's not even close, right? We still have structural support on most everything out there. Most of the market still looks pretty good. Now, there are some, again, caution signals specifically in tech that I'm seeing that we need to keep an eye on. All right, and if we lose levels, then we've got to reassess. And again, I have to build scenarios. I cannot predict as a swing trader what's happening next. All I can do is react off of the plan that I built. So we're going to build that plan today. I'm going to show you my exact trigger levels, the exact point where I will throw in the towel. Most specifically on tech, there's still so much that's healthy out there that if tech does pull back, now while that will weigh on the market and probably make a more difficult environment, it doesn't mean I'm going to ignore the rest of the strength that I see and that we can't trade those areas of the market. So side by side, like I always like to start with, we've got tech right here, mid-range. I mentioned at the open yesterday that I need tech through Thursday's high to the watch list yesterday, the 3 tech names I said that I like. I said in chat right when the market opened, I'm not taking them unless we get through Thursday's highs. We didn't, I didn't. All right, we're still sitting here. We're got a little bit of a gap down here overnight. The swing low is my line in the sand. It remains so for tech. You can say the same exact thing on SPY. Well, swing lows is quite a bit lower. For SPY, it's a little bit of a different story, but there's I've got a bit of a worry here. I would rather not lose the 50, of course, because what I'm starting to see is lower lows. If we get lower highs, we have to recognize that. Alternatively, if we take out the most recent swing high right up here, I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry, if we take out the most recent swing high, okay, do something like that, or even if we go vertically into it, then guys, we're going to be in a really, really attractive market that I will respect. So we got RSP all-time high close. The evenly weighted, the broad market, right, evenly weighted is at all-time highs. So there is a lot of health and strength out there. There are some very strong sectors that we're going to cover here today. Healthcare, industrials, financials, consumer discretionary. There's some names in it that look really good, but the sector's got some work to do. So let's just jump into that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the talking head part of this. I hate to only do charts. That can be a little boring, and on such an important video, I do apologize. I forgot to charge the camera, but listen. Pay attention. This is it, guys. I'm going to show exactly what I look for and how I'm going to build my plan to get involved in this market or raise capital and wait. Now we'll jump back in here and take another look at the SPY. As I just said, guys, like we're sort of getting a low, lower high, lower low. We do want a new swing high, all right, on the SPY. If that happens, I'm going to get pretty aggressive throughout the markets, okay? Now, the issue with if we do stuff here and lose the 50 again, and you know, if we take out this swing low, we really have to throw the yellow flag up on the market and maybe prepare for a move back down to the prior all-time highs, which is not going to be an insignificant move, and that's what 8% on SPY. It's about 15% on Q. Okay, now it's tech. A lot of the air is coming out of the tech trade. We've got to respect that, and it's just been a little more difficult. We had this big rally, and we're going sideways. It's not all bad that it's going sideways. It's consolidating. It's okay, but what I'm realizing more and more as I see this, that there's just simply more attractive markets. But if we were to lose levels in tech and build below, guys, all right, the market's going to be more difficult, okay? We will have to reassess, but that has not happened, right? And because we are just mid-range, I have to favor the fact that we're just consolidating and, again, focus on the strength, the other areas that are just beautiful right now. So what can we do here? We can look for tech, again, to get through Thursday's high. Right? Really, same thing. This swing high would really be attractive. So same idea. If we can start to get up through those levels and build above and maybe make a new all-time high and get ourselves into a new follow-through rally in tech, that would be attractive. But for now, let's just check out what we do like out there. XLV now. Absolutely beautiful. We are building above all-time highs. The next triple R, right? I talked about this in the last few videos. Okay, we went vertical into the breakout. And then we got a shake and go. It was a shake and go on the hourly, didn't actually trigger on the daily, but it broke out, shook some people out, and then ripped into new highs. And I said, now, if If that happens, we look for the next triple R. That is the plan in healthcare. If we get a triple R in the XLV, there's a lot of names that I like it. We're going to cover a bunch of those here today. But that is our broader ETF for the sector. But let's go a little bit deeper and realize that we've got things in here. We've got stuff like nursing. Now, I don't know what the heck is going on in nursing, but look at some of these things. Just absolutely on a tear. This is a name that I've brought up many times. Rounding bottom, breakout, change of character, rounding bottom, on accumulation, right? Next triple R on this, we've got an IPO cycle here. This is absolutely beautiful, and I want to find a way into it. Well, how? How do I do that? I wait for the next triple R. It's running away, okay? I have to let this thing pull back and not break structure and then re-trigger over the 9. It would look something like that. 9 rolls over, entry, stop, we go to our target, okay? That's what that trade is going to look like, and I am very interested in getting involved when that does come. We have Neo. That is my favorite in the nursing theme within healthcare, but you can see it across the board, guys. We have another changing character, rounding bottom, accumulation signals, and a nursing name. Now, guys, like this is a theme we must be paying attention to. Something's happening here, okay? And now that we have changed character, gotten up above our moving average, as long as that remains true, we can look for entries. What is the entry? Triple R, okay? Look at that. Changes character, comes back, retests structure, the 200, and re-triggers. Bang, okay? Look for the next one. The next one is high probability as long as the market and the sector remain strong. And last one here for nursing, we've got Neo. We've got Con. All right, same exact idea. I mean, look at this, guys. You have an IPO cycle breakout. Wow, guess what? Breaks out first triple R after, okay? Let it rip and then wait for the triple R right here. Bang, risk to our target. It gave it in like 4 days. Give me a break. All right. Next one, again, is very high probability as long as we do not break structure. Swing low. Okay, so keep that on the radar. And then we've got to roll over into genomics, and we will just take a quick and easy look here at ARKG. And this is the ETF. Same exact thing, guys. We have a rounding bottom, breaking out, changing character with accumulation signals, absolutely ripping and running away. Okay. Look at this. It ran up into the breakout level, shook everyone out, shake and go triple R. That's your entry. Now that it has gotten up through it, you wait for the next triple R, okay? Wait for the retracement, reaction, and remount. This is a very attractive sector, and this is a list of my favorite. Well, not all of them are my favorite, but this is a list of genomics biohacking names. GH, TWST, and ILM are some of my favorites. Just look at this stuff here, guys. It all looks just the same. That's a bit of an inverse head and shoulders. Guys, next triple R on this thing is very, very attractive. GH, next triple R on this thing is very, very attractive. Now look at it going vertical right into that level. Come on now, you can't buy that. You can't buy that. The trade was down here. The trade was down here. Let it do whatever it's going to do up around this area, whether even if it pokes its head through, don't get FOMO because they'll shake it. And then next triple R, or if it rips through, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm probably going to draw this today. That's the trade. That's what I'm waiting for. And then we got TWST here. Very similar. Very similar look. Okay. Look at these triple Rs. Look at these triple Rs, okay? This one was pretty tight, but I mean, it was triple R. You got to close below the 9, retracement, reaction, remount, love it, okay? Page in 2 days, 3 days, whatever. Next triple R, okay? Let this thing get below the 9, not break the swing low. So any retracement and close below the 9 that does not break that swing low and then re-triggers over the 9 EMA, you have your entry, stop, and you go to our target, okay? I'm showing you the same thing over and over. It's what I'm waiting for. Now we have Pharma still in the healthcare sector. Guys, it is the strongest thing out there. And I just noticed this, and this is why you got to zoom out. You got to look at charts. You got to look at structure. Look at what we're doing. We are vertical into the all-time high breakout level. Well, what did I just say? Okay, exact same thoughts here, you guys. We are vertical into the all-time high level. Look, we're even maybe going to get a gap up on this thing. Don't buy that, okay? Look at the move that you should have already been in. Here was the triple R down here, okay? This was the entry down here to be a part of the move into the all-time high breakout. Now we are there. Let the next triple R happen. You don't buy the breakout because they're probably going to shake it. And as long as it doesn't break structure, which is frankly all the way down here, very unlikely to happen unless the market really just falls apart, you let it retrace. Actually, it's a shake and go. It would be a breakout, fake out, shakeout, a retracement, reaction, remount, back over the 9. Guys, if you don't know what I mean, bootcamp.warrensnax.com. I teach you all 6 of my models that outperform the market. I teach you proper risk management, and I teach you to read market breadth so that you can make your own decisions. It's a one-time lifetime deal. You get me personally. I am very gracious with my time, and I would love to have you guys. You got to find your footing in these markets, and the markets themselves can be a brutal teacher. Let's move on, guys. There's way too much to cover, but the offer is there. Now, I'm showing you the way that I used to look at things. We're going to hop over into ClearTape and speed this thing up here soon, but I don't want people to feel left out if you're not using ClearTape. This is how I did it for years and years and years. ClearTape just makes it all much faster. But listen, you look at the ETFs, okay? Look at the ETFs and find the structure, find the leadership, and then you can do something as simple as this. Go over to holdings and find the most attractive names that you may want to trade within it, you guys. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm getting hung up seeing ATAI being one of the heaviest holdings here. That is quite interesting. I can't help but to look at this. This has been one of my favorite narrative play names for a while. Yeah, this is alternative therapy, psychedelic therapy. This is beautiful. Anyways, all-time high volume here recently as well. Let's stay on track. There's too much to cover to get spinny here. And then we have CANC, another theme within healthcare, ripping up into all-time highs. Now look, you guys, this is what I'm saying. You get your rip into all-time highs. They're very likely to pull this thing back and retest prior all-time highs. And if they do that and it reacts off of that area, remounts to 9, that is your stop entry to our target, and another very, very hot theme. It looks like an all-time high volume on this guy. No, not quite, but yeah, anyways, just broadly throughout healthcare, there's a lot going on. So oncology remains attractive. Let's do XRT. All right, now this is a theme that I've not really done much with here in a while, but it can be a good trader, but you just notice this big range that it's in. Let's go ahead and broaden this box out. All right, we're looking for possibly a box breakout. The real clean trade is going to be when and if this thing gets up and above and out of the range. You've got a big consolidation zone. If it can break out of it, then that's where the real clean trading will come from, and we will favor some of our favorite retail names at that time. No need to spend much more time on it right now. XLF. Same story, okay? I talked about this multiple times recently. We're going vertical into the breakout. The trade was back here. Some of you guys in chat took it. Christian, fantastic trade, man. I saw you were you jumped out of BAC yesterday. Great trade. I know some of you guys are trading some other financial names as well, getting in last week on that nice clean trigger from the 2 weeks ago, the Saturday live session video where we talked about this entry. So we're pretty vertical into that all-time high level. Now, one of two things is very likely to happen. It could stuff, pull back, get the next triple R underneath as long as it does not break structure, or you get a shake and go, all right, which we keep talking about, or let it go and get the next triple R. There you go. That's the 3 plans. It's either going to do this, get that triple R, get this triple R, or get that triple R, okay? Or it rolls and loses structure, and at that point the entire market environment has probably changed and you need to be raising capital. We're waiting for some new clarity in the markets, but again, that hasn't happened. This looks great. Keep your eyes, we're about to go right back into a new earnings season, featuring at the beginning, as we always do, the major banks and everything. So you may want to be waiting on some of that to come out. See if that's what gets us to break up into all-time high zones. If it does, guys, we're blue sky territory in financials. There's going to be a lot of trading and opportunity to come. You don't have to predict, and you shouldn't do it on a vertical move into all-time highs. Wait for what I'm saying is going to be a more high probability environment to be exposing your capital to, okay? XLI, another very attractive sector, okay? We're at all-time high close here in the XLI. A lot of names that I like here in this. Look at that, all-time high breakout, shake and go, trigger, right back through the level, already paid you. Look for the next triple R. Now that we have pushed ourselves up into all-time highs, any pullbacks, we do not want breaking swing low. We would love to see it react off of the all-time high level and continue higher. The next triple R on industrials above this, even more attractively above this, is going to get some risk from me and my favorite names in industrials, which we will feature here very soon when we jump over into ClearTape. XLU, just want to check it out. Not really overly interested, but I can see the potential for this getting moving. But frankly, I need it to do something like that. Okay, let's get ourselves up and at least out of this downward trend line, just break that trend line resistance and give me a triple R just below a prior all-time high level. But really just not my favorite. There's stronger things out there. And we got XLB. Sort of similar thoughts here, but again, I can see the potential for this getting a little bit of a move up here into the all-time high level. And guys, think about what I'm saying here. That would put another sector up here right at that all-time high level. Okay, just pay attention to how much I'm saying that. And while we have a bit of a threat of the Qs and the SPYs being shaky on us, a lot of these sectors look pretty good and have a reasonable scenario for getting themselves up towards the all-time high level and maybe doing something very tradable when it does. Okay, we would have a box breakout in materials. That's something that we can get involved in. AIQ, this is a new to me ETF that is the global artificial intelligence. Very clear trend that we need to break and build above. Okay, so let's get a new high and triple R's above that. This is just more something I'm looking at for the AI trade. Let's keep moving, and I'll show you why I'm a little sketched out right now on that. We got XAR. This is very attractive, if I remember. Yeah, so we were right here at all-time highs. This looks very similar to what I just said in materials, to what I just said in some of those other sectors. Again, another theme, another sector at the top end of an all-time high range. Okay, so let this thing break out, see if it does a shake and go, or triple R above. Okay, that's your two scenarios for me, and you can roll that into individual names. We got MAGs. Let's get this guy back over the 50. It's trying, okay? It's trying. It would actually be very attractive to see this thing break that recent swing low, okay? Because we had lows, lower high, lower low. We don't want a lower high in tech, SPY, and MAGs, okay? We just don't want that kind of environment. So if this can get up above the 50 and start to push up higher, that would be really nice. I know Apple is what's leading this up right now. Quite the move there in Apple. Absolutely beautiful. While we're looking at it, let's just do Google so I don't have to circle back. All right. Google getting above its 50 is going to be a nice first step. Amazon, same thoughts here. It's got some work to do. It looks a little bit better on the weekly. You could consider last week's high, but just be very aware that's more of a longer term hold if you're going to hold it through earnings. I'm not interested in that, but the structure is there for that trade. Going back to the daily, hitting XME. Now this is a theme that's concerning me, okay? A theme that I sure did want to get re-involved in, but it's just the chart's not allowing for it right now, okay? We've lost everything. The daily, the weekly, all right, we're down here testing the monthly lows. Guys, if we lose this, we're down below the moving averages, okay? Something like this is a short, all right? It is what it is. I know everybody wants the rare earth theme to do well. REMAX looks a little bit better. Still being above, but look at that, overnight price getting below. Yeah, guys, this is very bearish, okay? If we lose all of this and triple R is below that, you can do this stuff to the downside as well. So no interest in that. It's a bit of a shame. Things like MP, CRML had a lot of potential. But guys, look, come on. We're building below the moving averages. Let's ignore it when we just saw how freaking strong healthcare is, how strong financials are, and some of these other things we're going to get into. We've got XHB is a theme that I am beginning to pay attention to. Now we are ranging, but we are up above. We've got a change in character, okay? First triple R after the change in character above our moving averages. Maybe that could be on the table. Toll is my name for that. We talked about this trade in depth yesterday. If it can react above, call it 150 and then remount the 9, guys, that's a good entry for a quarter sizer, and see if it can see if you can get yourself into what would be a longer term hold here. I would probably just do share. I will just do shares if I do this. Get a quarter size on the next triple R that doesn't break 150. Okay, if we remain above 150, the next triple R below all-time highs, I will quarter size, let it break out. If it does break out, pull back and hold the most recent swing low at that time. I will load on the next triple R to full size and try to get a measured move. A measured move means, yes, what I'm saying is the bigger picture trade here is a measured move of this long-term range, putting us all the way up in the 250-ish area. Guys, that's something I'd like to be a part of if I can find a clean way into the trade. Yeah, right there, baby. That could be a nice trade. No need to do options on that. That's a big enough move. Now, that's a more long-term thing. Let me be very clear on that. SMH is something we have got to keep an eye on. We really don't want to lose Semiconductors. That's just going to weigh very heavily on the market. So we got our swing low right there. We want to stay above. All right, a little look below and fail, meaning if we peak below it intraday, that's fine, but we do want to be closing above that level. We don't want to lose semiconductors, don't need to beat a dead horse. If we do trigger through Thursday's high on this, INTC is maybe where I'm going to be looking for that. I'm sure there's some other names. I saw something like Dell. Let's look at MXL again. See, this is why I had rules of not getting in yesterday unless the Qs showed me what it wanted. All right, anyways, we'll talk about SMA. I mean, that would probably be something to happen in chat, but yeah, that's the line in the sand for me on semiconductors. Got to respect it. We got DTCR. This is a data center. Another look here that is not very attractive for the AI narrative, okay? For the build out, the hyperscalers, all that stuff. This is not a great look, okay? We want this invalidating quickly. Anything that pushes down, comes back up, fails. That's a short, guys. Maybe looking to come all the way back down, test that 200, and something that might weigh a little heavy there on the market. It's certainly going to bring the bubble people back out. We got ARTY, another AI ETF. You know, I'm just keeping eyes on all these things. Same exact thoughts, guys. We don't want to start losing swing lows and get into a lower low, lower high environment in the AI trade. We got uranium. This does not look good. This is something that I wanted to get. I mean, if you're like a mean reversion, you know, you got to trade there, right? If you just want a hard stop, but yeah, that's not what I do. Anyways, this is, if we lose this level and build below, all right, that's a short, my friends. That is absolutely a short. We'll talk about that if it comes. And then we got bots. We got robots. This is a theme that I really believe in long term, but you know, it's got to do what I need it to do. I need it up above the 50 and maybe building triple R's above the top end of this range would be quite attractive. You can see, like, generally it is holding structure of an uptrend. I need it above its levels, okay? But you know, triple R's above the 50, maybe I'll find a way back into some robotic names that I like. So that's kind of like the broad scan. And then going in here to ClearTape, we want to start by looking at some of the leaders. No shock to us there that it is a genomics name. We've got some tech, okay? We do have some tech, some selective tech names that are very attractive, all right? I'm noticing specifically, well, let's just look at them. Why don't we make it easy? Yeah, so I'm noticing, you know, you got cybersecurity up here, but you know, pause the video. These are the tech names that you want to be focused on, where a lot of other things are getting quite shaky. A lot of this stuff has good, clean trend integrity. Oh, IBM. Hey, now let's actually go back. Does that mean that we have, that's not a thing that I looked at today. QT, what are we doing here? Same idea, you know, we want to be holding this 50. I think quantum's a theme that's going to heat up again. I mean, it already has. It already has, and now it's consolidating, okay? So if it breaks out to the upside, game on. Downside, it's a short, okay? That's how that looks. Let's keep it moving. Let me get my notes back up here so I don't spiral. We were doing ClearTape. All right, so here are the tech leaders that I would be focused on. I'll give you the healthcare leaders as well. Now, these are being measured. This is true leadership. That is what ClearTape is built for. Now, this is factoring in trend integrity. This is factoring in accumulation signals, you know, things like flash, so like the momentum of the current move. Anyone using ClearTape, I did get a question on this. I'm going to make you a private video, my friend, but you can always enable logic mode, turn that on, and it will give you an explanation of what things are anywhere where you see the little dots below. Alternatively, there is a reference page that really goes deep. I don't hide any of the logic. I want you to understand. But anyways, guys, these are some of the leading names in the leading sector of the market. Guys, I mean, this is where you need to be focused up. Healthcare, industrials, same thoughts. Focus up on industrials, healthcare, and financials until we clean up over there in tech. All right, and then keep things like retail and materials in mind for what looks to be potential building at the very least. All right, so there's some there's some freaking names for you there, guys. Going into the rotation page. Yeah, I did this earlier. Nothing really stuck out to me. Of course, we've got healthcare, we've got genomics up here still leading. I think the matrix had a better read. Without making this video too much longer, let's go to the names, 25% up in the last 21 days, and then let's just get sector specific here. We've got, again, tech. Here's some names that you may want to be checking out. And then again, we really want to be focused up here on healthcare. I did notice a consumer discretionary name that I liked. CBRL, Cracker Barrel. Let's jump into that chart. CBRL. I don't think I typed what I said. There it is. This is an interesting one, you guys. All right, you got to change a character on volume, all-time high volume, change a character. Guys, hey now, all right? A bunch of y'all, you guys know me in the community, Bootcamp and all that stuff. You know how much I like stuff like this. You get a big change in character. What do I always say? First triple R after something like that. Think back to something like Target. It's just I always very easily go back to this reference, right? You get the change in character, triple R's after that. A bunch of these worked, okay? I mean, literally like 4 out of 5 of these or something like that. Most of them work. I live in a more often than not kind of world. But anyway, CBRL. Cracker Barrel is doing that, you guys. You're getting a gap up. All-time high volume gap up. That's a peg play that worked, by the way, my friends. Another model. Wow. I mean, guys, all I do is come in here and show you stuff that works more often than not. So do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the sub. And consider coming and joining the community if you would like. And I will keep coming and giving you guys the juice. So guys, all right, come on, let's get serious. We need a little bit of a pullback here. It is pulling back, okay? So if it comes back and retests that trend line and re-triggers up through the 9 EMA, that would curl over. Entry, stop. To our target. If that trade works, take your girlie out to Cracker Barrel and get her something nice for breakfast, all right? Anyways, let's get serious and wrap this thing up. We got a couple more names. I want to talk about Tesla, and I want to talk about I might take this. Now, this is going to be a bit unique of a trade, okay? Now, I do the same things over and over and over again, but Tesla is one that does require a little bit of nuance or a little bit of flexibility. You got to be malleable messing around here in Tesla. So what I'm going to say here might be a little unique, not an explanation that you've heard me say, at least on the YouTube channel before. But look, what we have is something that's holding the weekly structure, okay? Weekly structure, we're sort of like wedging out a little bit here. We're above all of our moving averages in that, but I want to go back to the daily and show you, we had a pullback, didn't breach the recent swing low. We're trying to change this character here. It's the first triple R after. I kind of like it through yesterday's high of getting a small piece, 1/8 size of a single unit, maybe even a quarter, getting involved, getting my feet wet, my beak wet, whatever you want to say here in Tesla. But really the real trade for me is getting up above. Okay, next triple R, maybe get another piece. And if we really let's zoom out. If we really clear out this range, another triple R up in that world. So maybe building a position into Tesla, and I am fully aware of earnings. Okay, so a very unique thing for me to say here on the channel, but I am considering it. I hope that made sense for what I'm considering. I'm considering easing my way into exposure. And now that I actually am saying it out loud, with earnings being so close, I will not go over a 1/8 size position here on these Tesla calls. I would probably get maybe a 6-month out contract. Is just as I'm thinking this through, 6 months out, 1/8 size of a single unit, so a very small position, with the idea of building a little more there and a little more there, but having long enough on the expiry that if all things were to work out, I'm built up to a full unit by that time and I still have to not worry about my time decay, okay? If that didn't make sense, guys, hit me up in chat. I know a lot of you guys like to trade Tesla as well, so if that doesn't make sense, you want more of a explanation on that trade idea, again, I know it's a little unique, holler at me. And apps, this is a name that I talked about a few weeks ago in the Saturday live session. It did what I said so far, okay? And we have another look at a possible triple R. As long as we do not break swing low, most recent swing low, it is a retracement reaction, remount of the 9, stop, entry, to our target is the trade. However, that ends up looking as long as we are above the recent swing low, which is also the breakout level. We do not want that getting breached, or the current trend is broken. The character has changed. The idea is null. Okay, invalid. And then we got LMND. This is just me giving you props, Christian. Good freaking trade. This is a name that I have traded a few times in the past, and it can move. It can move, and it is right in the middle of its IPO cycle here, possibly. It's broader one. It had a really quick one back here, but a second leg of it. Look at this again, changing character. Look at all the triple R's at work after you change character on accumulation volume. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, and we're sort of starting that up again, right? So now we have this big change in character, okay, ripping up over our moving averages. This is something you can keep on trading, all right? Next triple R's above, the moving averages and recent swing lows. I'm a fan of LMND, and then I saw you traded Bank of America as well, my man. My man got in there and got your little triple R on that, didn't he? Good, man. I love it. I love it, my friend. Great trades, man. Thanks for sharing those with us in chat. All right, guys, and we're going to check out a couple more things here in ClearTape. We'll look at the Cyclone tool, see if anything's standing. Oh, GE I have not seen. Just trending. Okay, AMD I've also not looked at here recently. Been back on the list. IBKR back on the list. HUM, one of our favorites. In the managed care sector, which came off of this tool. Here's another managed care. Okay, keep that stuff on your radar. And then let's roll over to the dashboard. End with just a broad check of market breadth. We're okay. We're fine here, you guys. Just focus on the leadership. Focus on the leadership. Put your line in the sand in on the indexes. Honestly, we're good to go in the RSP. We're good to go in the IWM. The SPY, I'd really like to see the SPY hang out above the 50. Like if we're going to make this move up into all-time highs and get rolling again, then hold the daggone 50 for me. So we'll see if it's able to do that. We're not going to predict. We're not going to get overly aggressive if we are not trading the strongest sectors, which is healthcare, which is industrials and financials. That's where the focus is. Remember, financials, I do expect a little bit of turbulence right here going into the all-time high area. So my favorite has got to be healthcare right now. Now, the issue with that is a lot of that stuff is extended, going back over into healthcare one last time. Here we go. We got the leadership right here. Next triple R on Moderna. GH Neo, PGNY. I mean, guys, look at this stuff. Look at this stuff, holding structure, trending, following through, leading sector with leading themes, narratives. It's got it all. Healthcare, financials, industrials, keep an eye on materials, and then as always, keep a good eye on tech because it's going to weigh on the market if we lose things. So yeah, just know your levels there in tech. I'll end by drawing that out one last time. That is a line in the sand for me on tech. Peak below intraday. Don't get overly worried, but a close below that line is going to worry me. We'll have to adjust. And I will see you guys later. Stay safe, manage your risks. Let's go make some money. I'll see you soon.